Welcome to Superstitions, Traditions, and Definitions. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Carol.
You eyebrowed at us.
Did I eyebrow you?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Hi.
I can't
happening?
wink. Oh.
So sexy.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
We,
No, what are we doing?
are doing Am I the Asshole? Historical edition. Are you ready?
Oh, so ready.
Okay.
Lay it on me.
You're going to love it.
I have no doubt.
Or you're not. We don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's hear it.
Okay. Am I the asshole for gaining favor of the Pope at 17 years old, being hired by the Papal States, and successfully holding my job with them for nearly 70 years?
Sounds like a good gig.
It was a good gig.
What's going on?
All right.
Okay.
I was a short and stout kid looking for work when I was hired by Pope Pius the...
Pius.
Okay, fine.
I'm just...
But when I was hired by Pope Pius the 6th on March 22nd of 1796.
Okay.
It was a part-time job, working on average only 7 days a year. But the work was difficult, to say the least.
I'm certain. 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
But I could muster that.
You think so?
I don't know.
You don't know the work yet.
Okay. Let's hear it.
All right. The Pope, in addition to overseeing the Catholic Church, was also tasked with ensuring law and order in the Papal States. Some crimes warranted execution.
Oh.
Which is where I stepped in.
No.
I served as the official papal executioner for 68 years. I carried out justice by mallet, hanging, or axe.
Mallet?
Until 1816, when the official method became the guillotine.
Marvelous.
I referred to the act of executing as justice and the people I executed as patients. I often spoke with the patients and offered them snuff, despite their being the perpetrators of such heinous crimes as murder, theft, heresy, and treason.
Oh.
I kept excellent records of names, dates, convictions, and methods of executions on all 514 people I executed.
On order of the Pope.
On order of the Pope.
Thou shalt not kill, baby. It's in there. Big one.
Yeah?
It's a big one.
Because this was only a part-time job, I also painted and sold umbrellas in Rome. Because my part-time job was not always a respected career, garnering hate from locals, especially families of the patients I delivered justice to, I was forbidden.
Victims. Let's call them what they are.
I was forbidden to enter the center of Rome. To carry out justice, I had to cross a bridge over the Tiber. Naturally, I would attract a following because all of Rome knew if I was crossing the bridge, a public execution was going to take place.
So we were famous.
Mm-hmm.
Infamous, rather.
Lord Byron and Charles Dickens both witnessed executions I carried out. I retired on August 17, 1864 at 85 years old. That's when he did his last execution, 85. I was remembered for always dressing with elegance, even under my cloak and hood, keeping incredible records, and treating those I executed with compassion. You don't think so? When you're lobbing off a person's head?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that they care that, you've got the right shoes on and, your tie is tied.
That they couldn't even see underneath those red robes.
Such
and
an elegant little piece of shit. My goodness. Look how fancy I am. I'm going to cut your head off.
So little guy's name was Giovanni Bugatti.
Okay. Not Bugatti, like the motorcycle. Has an R in it.
Now I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
No R.
No R?
B-U-G.
Bugatti.
Bugatti.
The motorcycle. Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
So
Interesting. So he really sounds like he was rather in love with himself.
there is. He kept records.
I
Um,
gathered.
There was actually 516 in his book, but one was executed by his friend to prevent them from executing him. Once he was given the death sentence, his friend snuck in there and did the deed out of compassion, I guess.
The convicted's friend came in and
I mean, why we didn't rescue him from prison and run away, I don't know, but
maybe that would have been
anyway,
desirable.
yeah. Then there was one other one that died before, that was sentenced to be executed.
Died of natural causes, and he didn't get to lob anything off of this poor guy.
No. So
Damn it.
first
Thoughtless.
execution he did was by mallet. Okay. That was the common method of execution at the time.
Just hit you in the head with a big hammer. Wow. Okay. How many swings did it take?
A couple. And then, to make sure you were really dead, they would slit your throat and cut off your arms and legs, which he carried out apparently very well.
Oh, well, sounds like it. I mean, if you're going to do something, do it right.
That's right.
For Christ's sakes.
That is correct. I mean, if you're going to have a job, you do that job well.
With pride.
With pride.
Yep. Did he have to clean up, or did he have a little lackey that came around behind him and cleaned up all the blood and the guts?
I mean, I would hope, since he did the work, somebody else would do the cleanup.
Well, I mean, he was dressed
That's
nicely
how I do.
too, so.
Right. I mean, that's how I do, like, dinner time. If I do the cooking, y'all get to do the cleaning.
Does it get done, though?
Yeah.
Mm.
And I imagine when you're holding a mallet that you just lobbed into somebody's head,
you're going to clean up, or I mean,
when you say, please get this cleaned up, they're like, yes, sir.
Right.
I am on it.
I'm sorry, it's not already done.
Right.
I should have been cleaning it while you were
pulling
this poor guy apart. Yeah, he's the asshole.
They also used hanging.
Great.
And before the guillotine, the axe.
How diverse.
Chop off a head.
Yeah, gotta mix it up a little bit.
That's right. You don't want to get bored.
Oh, no.
You don't want to get bored in your job. There are more than one ways to skin a cat or remove a head.
And call him your patient.
I mean, he offered him stuff first.
I don't care. How arrogant.
Had a nice little chat with them.
I don't care if it is at the word of the Pope. Don't care.
It is at the word of the Pope.
Doesn't matter.
For things like murder.
It's wrong.
And
so because of murder, then you murder him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or
I got it. I just wanted to make sure I was.
Or if they're thieves.
Okay.
Burglary was another.
I'm not against punishment, but swinging a mallet and hitting somebody in the head a couple of times, you know.
At 17.
85.
To 85.
Must have enjoyed himself.
That's what I'm thinking. The longest running executioner for the Pope. Mm-hmm. I mean, there had been executioners before and after him.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming we don't have one now.
No.
Just went out of practice.
I want to say it was the late 1800s.
Okay.
That the Pope at the time was like, and that's not nice. Well, we're going to outlaw the death penalty.
Well, death penalty is one thing, but I mean, mallet.
You know, somebody
looked at this blunt hammer and thought, you know what?
That would be a good way to kill somebody.
Let's do it.
This is how we're executing you. There were worse ways to execute people.
Well, I'm sure, yes.
I mean, one method was tying arms and legs to 4 different horses, slapping them on the butt so they run and rip you apart.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's not nice.
Oh, no, not at all. Bad deal.
I think that might even qualify as cruel and unusual
It might if we thought about it a little
if we
bit.
gave
Maybe
it some thought. I mean,
yeah.
not that a mallet would, but
Hmm.
on the plus side, it was a mallet coming at your head and not you laying there waiting for horses to rip you open.
Right.
There was also boiling.
That's bad.
Yeah, they would boil oil or water and stick the person that's to be executed inside the vat of boiling liquid. So,
Wow.
I mean, there were worse ways he could have.
There are, but mallet.
It was only for a little while. And then he started hanging on when using an axe. And then
He's evolving in his
he is.
job.
In 1816, they brought him a guillotine, and that was the method
Fancy.
after that. So it was only like 20 years.
Is that all? Is that all? 20 years of mallet swinging. I bet he hung it on the wall when he was done. He's like, oh, remember the good times.
Actually, if you would like to see it, the mallet, the axes, his red hood and robe are all on display at the Museum of Criminology in Rome.
I'm good. I think I'm going to pass on that one.
You don't want to go see? You don't want to go to that museum
No.
and see the robe?
I figure we
And,
could go
mallet?
get cappuccino and pizza and stuff rather than waste our time.
I thought we were buying wine from a little hole in the wall
We're going to do that too.
and throwing pennies in the fountain.
Well, sure. I mean, if that's what you want, by all means. But yeah, I'm good. I don't need to go and glorify this monster fella any more than he already has been.
You don't want to go see?
No.
Mm.
No, I think he brought a lot of terror to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but he did it. I mean, how do you say no to the Pope?
No.
If the Pope told you to kill somebody, you're Catholic. I see. I'm Protestant. We don't have to listen to the Pope.
I don't have to listen to the Pope.
But you're Catholic. I think
I
you're
don't
supposed
care.
to.
Doesn't matter to me.
Pretty
Hey,
sure.
go kill this person with this hammer. It's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Are you going to kiss his ring before or after you tell him no?
Probably not
At all?
No.
But
probably
he's the
not.
Pope, aren't you? You are not being a good Catholic.
Are
Right
you
now.
gonna set me up in an audience with the Pope? Is that it?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Well, you get that handled, and then we'll discuss how I'm going to behave.
All right.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Great.
His book was published
No.
of the 516 people, 514 that he executed, was published in 1891 along with an autobiography, but it wasn't really. Somebody published this record with a biography of him anonymously, and the title of the book was I don't remember the exact title, but it said by himself.
He published it.
Well, he died in 1869.
Okay.
And this was published in 1891. So
he's been gone for a
I'm
little while.
thinking he probably didn't publish it himself.
Probably
I don't know a whole lot of ghosts that have gotten books published, but maybe
not. It can happen.
I'm sure it could. Somebody published and tried to pass it off as an autobiography.
I see.
So you can buy the book on Amazon.
I'm gonna pass. I've got a whole reading list that I need to get to, and he's
looked,
not on it.
I looked, and it's there. You can buy the book on Amazon.
Fabulous.
And I'm sure at this museum gift shop, there's probably some copies of the.
I imagine. Yes, of course. Where we're gonna skip it because we've got pizza and wine.
I know we're getting wine from a little hole in the wall.
Yep. That's what they say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We also got the fountain
and pizza.
And pizza.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not gonna go, but whatever. Okay.
If you want to go and see it, then we can split up for a little while, and I'll go eat pizza without you. You can go look at the monster stuff. hanging up in the museum?
Think about it.
Okay. All right. It's up to you. I'm not telling you not to go, but I'm not going to go.
You're not going to go.
No.
You don't want to try on his hood and robe?
I don't. I'm good.
So executioners wore the hood and robe for anonymity?
Mm-hmm. Doesn't sound like he wanted anonymity, though.
I mean, did he like take it off?
Well, the fact that he wore a red
Right.
one. Normally they wore black.
Yeah, his was red.
He
I
wanted
did see
everybody to see
pictures
him.
of it.
Oh, I believe it. He wanted everybody to see him. Look at me.
Uh-huh.
Fabulous I am in my red hood and cape. I'm going to go kill this person.
For people,
But it's okay.
for them to have banned him from the center of town, and when people saw him crossing the bridge, unless he was like in his red robe and hood crossing the, why would you do that? I mean,
to
that's
draw
just
attention. I'm sure that's what he did. He walked to work wearing his red hood and cape.
maybe. But he was banned from the center of town for his own protection. So at some point, somebody figured out who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody knew who he was. Whether, I don't know, maybe after a mallet swing, he takes his hat off to dab the sweat from his forehead.
Or the splattered blood, maybe.
Maybe.
What a bad guy. I don't care. I don't care if it's
17.
mandated. Could you imagine?
17. The first execution he did, he was 17 with a mallet and then quartered them.
Oh. Did he ever get married?
He did get married.
Dude, he married that guy.
Somebody married him. They had no children. He painted in his off murder time.
So did Hitler.
They ran a little shop in Rome.
Well, Hitler didn't have a little shop, but he was still a monster.
No.
Yeah,
he was still a monster. He didn't run a little shop. But
no.
Bugatti and his wife ran a little shop in Rome, and he painted pictures of the Pope and painted umbrellas. I guess people bought them.
Okay. Say so.
I mean, why didn't he paint the executions?
It
was a big deal at the time. Everybody
came from miles around.
And then they had a little picnic about it and
hung out.
It was a good time.
Not
they needed
not
TV.
For the dude or the family getting executed.
No. He was quite proud of himself for treating the people he murdered with respect.
Yeah, sounds like it. I'm sure they were grateful.
They got snuffed right before they got dead. And he looked pretty underneath his hood.
Well, yes, there is that. Thank God for the fashion sense.
Short, stout little guy.
Mm-hmm. Little man syndrome.
17.
I know. I can't
And
imagine.
85.
And every age in between.
And every age in between that. But can you imagine?
26.
I can't imagine. My daughter is 18.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here, baby, I got you a job. It's with the Pope.
Yep.
Here's your mallet.
Murder.
Go to work.
Yeah, my twins are 19. They've been at it for 2 years if they were this kid. Nope. Sick and wrong.
And then 85, pushing his walker up the
Probably
steps.
Probably had to have some help with that mallet.
He didn't have the mallet then because he had the guillotine. All he had to do was pull
the switch.
Yeah. But still.
What bad guy?
I just can't imagine being that old. Oh, I gotta go to work, babe. Lob off a head and hold it up in the air by the hair for the masses that come out to party.
Our little legal serial killer, I suppose.
514
Gross.
executions.
Very wrong.
And he recorded not only the date, their name, and how he executed, but the crimes they were committed of. And there was a lot of burglary and heresy and treason. There was a lot of murderers too.
Okay.
But
those are bad things. I get it. I'm down with that. But a mallet?
Right. I just don't see how you justify murdering someone because they stole an apple or whatever.
No. And how you call them your patients. Obviously, you know.
And there's that too.
Yeah, that's
Or
so hypocritical and disgusting.
treason. Like, obviously, you don't like living here. Your punishment is you have to leave.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
But no, they were like, you don't like living here, so now you have to get dead.
Yep.
Now we're going to kill you. You should have loved it here.
You should have loved it here. You should have been a little more grateful.
Mm-hmm. You don't like Catholicism, so now you got to die. You should have loved our Jesus.
Yeah.
Teach you.
Should have loved our Jesus.
Teach you not love our Jesus. Ha ha.
Mm-hmm. So now we got you dead, and now we get to pay for that later on. I mean, I'm sure they figured that they're doing the Lord's work and that they're not going to pay for it, but I'm pretty sure they're probably paying for it to this day.
That is how they justified it.
The Lord's work.
They were doing the Lord's work.
No.
I don't think Jesus was happy with them.
Oh, I'm certain. He wasn't. 516.
That's just him.
Happy, yes.
I mean, the Pope has had an executioner, or doesn't anymore, because at some point we were like, you know what?
Kind of bad.
That's not nice.
No, let's just put him in jail.
Let's just simmer down now. We're going to simmer down.
I mean, sure, I'm not against the death penalty per se, but this apple, okay, looks like they just wanted a reason to kill somebody. Because we have good time. So
he was the longest employed executioner, 68 years, 514 murders. There was an executioner who had not as many as him, but was bloodier than him. There was one executioner prior to him who killed 18 people in one day.
Yeah.
That Pope was mad about something.
He was unhappy.
That Pope needed some Effexor and maybe a little vodka before he sat up there. He needed a happy pill.
Needed something. Chilly mouth.
He needed to calm down.
Maybe needed a nap.
He probably needed a nap
go for a walk and think about 18 people. I don't know. What did they do? Do we know?
I probably did at one time, but now I don't.
Okay.
And I didn't write it down.
Well, okay. Okay. That's all right.
They were probably witches. Because, witchcraft. It's treason.
Or maybe they didn't love his Jesus.
They probably didn't. Because, all those midwives, they were devil worshippers and married to Satan. So.
Yeah. And they're probably left-handed.
The left-handed.
Too.
And they were left-handed. Yeah.
Yep, I got you.
They had cats.
Black cats. Signs of evil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to take over children.
Got it. Okay.
All of that stuff. So
yes,
they probably deserved it. I don't know. Crazy.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. I'm going to say he's the asshole.
He
Are you with me there?
Yeah. He's the asshole.
He obviously looked at himself as some kind of hero, but he's the asshole.
He felt like he was a pretty compassionate guy. He offered them stuff.
I don't care.
They got some stuff first.
I don't care.
He had a nice little chat with them before he lobbed off their head.
Well, thank God for that.
Right. He tried to show them compassion.
What a champ.
Before he murdered them.
Who's a good boy?
Who's a good boy?
He's the asshole. We're calling it.
All right. It's called He's the Asshole.
Okay. Yes, ma'am? You're looking at me expectantly.
Please like and subscribe to our channel. Come back for more.
Yep.
We have lots of assholes around here.
Yeah. Looking at a couple of them.
Yeah. Am I a couple of them?
Yeah. I'm looking at both of us right here.
Oh, okay. You're the asshole today too?
Sometimes.
It's not just me?
Sometimes.
I thought it was just me.
No, not always.
That's nice.
Like and subscribe. Come back and see us.
She loves you.
I do.
I have fondness.
She does.